This is the heaviest pie in China. It weighs about 5 pounds. Even the top competitive eaters wouldn't dare challenge it. But it only costs 10 cents. Despite being so cheap, the filling is super rich and expensive. The filling is made with beef and green onions. They typically use lean beef, which is minced, then seasoned with soy sauce, cooking wine, salt, pepper, 5-spice powder, and other spices. To remove any gamey taste and grease, the chef finely chops green onions and mixes them with the beef. Then, the beef mixture is wrapped in dough, rolled into a flat pancake, and fried or grilled. The crust of this beef pie is golden and crispy, with a slight crunch and a fragrant toasted flavor when you bite into it. The inside remains soft and fluffy, with the tender dough and beef complementing each other perfectly. The beef is slow cooked and finely seasoned, making it juicy, tender, and delicately textured. It absorbs all the spices, so it's neither greasy nor dry. Would you want to try it? This is the city no competitive eater dares to visit. Here, you can get a massive burger for just $5. Sounds insane, right? You'd think the owner has lost his mind, but he's been doing this for 10 years. Every morning before opening, he preps a ton of fresh ingredients. The star, 3 whole pounds of premium beef. Once it hits the grill, the rich, smoky aroma fills the air. But that's not all. Caramelized pineapple rings and a fried ostrich egg, absolutely essential. Once everything's ready, he slathers a layer of honey mustard on a fresh burger bun, adds crisp lettuce for that refreshing crunch, then stacks on a juicy beef patty with a melted slice of cheese. Next comes the grilled pineapple and fresh tomato, a perfect balance of sweet and tangy to cut through the richness. The first bite? Soft, fluffy bun meets rich, runny egg yolk. Then the beef patty, crispy on the outside, tender and juicy inside, melting together with gooey cheese for an explosion of meaty goodness. The caramelized pineapple adds a deep, sweet flavor, while the tomato's slight acidity keeps it from feeling too heavy. Crispy onion rings bring just the right kick, balancing the flavors between savory, sweet, and fresh. And if you're still hungry, the owner will personally bring you more. So, what do you think? Would you take on the challenge? This is a Korean man said to be even smarter than Einstein. It's said he can always make the most delicious food using the cheapest ingredients, and he sells it for $10. Today, let's see how he does it. Every day before opening, the owner pours a large amount of starch batter onto a sizzling hot griddle. While the starch is still setting, he adds a generous amount of cabbage on top. Cabbage is cheap, but its delicious taste and high nutritional value make it very popular. The owner keeps adding more tasty ingredients to create a rich texture, including a large amount of dried ramen. The combination of ramen and cabbage is something other vendors haven't thought of, and this is the secret to the owner's $30,000 monthly income. Next, he pours a lot of egg batter over the cabbage, letting it soak in. He then adds another layer of starch batter to bind everything together. Carefully, he flips the cabbage pancake to fully cook the ingredients on the surface. At the same time, the owner drizzles a generous amount of seafood sauce and salad dressing over the freshly cooked pancake. I have to say, the ingredients are incredibly rich, but they're not expensive at all. The owner is truly smart, creating a delicious dish while saving a lot of money. Do you want to try it? This is the most expensive barbecue in China. It doesn't have a single piece of meat, yet it sells for $89. The craziest part, more than 50% of China's population has bought it. So, what makes it so special? Surprisingly, the main ingredient is just instant noodles. Here's how it's made. First, boil a pot of water and soak the instant noodles until they soften. Drain the water, then thread the noodles onto bamboo bamboo or metal skewers. Place them on a grill over medium heat, flipping them constantly to ensure even cooking. Grill until the surface becomes slightly firm and develops a toasty aroma. Next, crack an egg over the noodles. Once the egg starts to set, brush on a layer of seasoning for extra flavor. Before it's fully cooked, sprinkle on some chopped veggies, letting them soften slightly, and blend with the noodles and egg. After grilling, the noodle cake turns crispy on the outside, while the egg stays soft and silky, creating the perfect contrast. As the noodles cook over charcoal, they develop a rich, toasted aroma. Not a burnt smell, but a warm, bread-like fragrance. Would you give it a try? This is a Chinese street food that 99% of Americans have never tried, the deluxe jianbingguozi. It costs only 10 cents, but it contains over 20 ingredients. To taste it, you'll have to come to China, because the owner only sells it here. First, they prepare the batter for the jianbing, savory crepe. Then the batter is poured into a pan and spread evenly by rotating the pan. It's cooked on medium-low heat until golden brown. Next, they crack an egg onto the crepe and spread it out with a spatula, letting the egg cook through. After that, it's time to add the fillings. First, chopped green onions and cilantro are sprinkled on top, followed by some chili powder and seasonings like yellow soybean paste and sweet bean paste. Then, fried crispy noodles, crab sticks, sausages, and other meats are layered on. A few leaves of fresh greens are added too. Once all the fillings are in place, the crepe is folded to the right size. Depending on preference, it can be rolled up or folded in half. Finally, the jianbing is cut into 2 pieces for easy eating. The outer crepe is slightly crispy, while the egg and meats inside are soft and tender. Each filling has its own unique texture. The meats are juicy and firm, while the outer crepe is thin and crisp, with a hint of charred flavor. The combination of the egg and crepe brings a rich, eggy taste and adds softness. Would you want to give it a try?